Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there. My name is Kiza Martha. I'm back with the topic child abuse, and this is the second part of it. In the first video, we focused on a girl child, and we shall continue in this video to focus on a girl child. Boy child will come in later. I talked about some terminology that could have confused my viewers out there. Let me talk more about them, and that is dyspareunia and papsemia. Dyspareunia is simply painful sex, and painful sex comes as a result of many explanations, and one of them is sexual abuse. If a child was sexually abused as they grow into maturity as a lady, depending on the level of the injuries they got and how much their brains registered the bad experience, the person, as ladies, we have hormones, sexual hormones. We may not go into the details of those hormones, but they are responsible for sexual gratification during sexual intercourse. They are produced, and the purpose of that hormone is to prepare our genitals for the activity in three ways. One, it makes it smooth enough for penetration. Two, it prepares the glands to produce lubrication for easy penetration and sexual pleasure. And three, there are a lot of nerve endings right from the brain, millions of them, that nerve endings are around our genitals. All that is God's design for sexual gratification. But a person who was sexually molested, depending on how much the tears, the twist of those parts were affected, you realize that the nerve endings were distorted, either by twisting them or by distorting them with scars, and the person during sexual activity becomes dry, and the sex becomes painful. This condition affects both male and female, but now our focus is on female. Later, in other videos, we can look at the causes of it for men. Not to say sexual harassment only, but other causes can include diet, stress, those ones and others can be responsible for dryness of the genitals. When it comes to papsemia and antenatal care, papsemia is just examination made in hospitals by health workers to check the ladies whether they are developing cancer in the genital region, or they are safe. And antenatal care, those are usual terms for a pregnant lady. Still goes to the hospital to check whether the baby is developing well or the mother is safe, and those kind of services are always given. We go for them as women. But we realize that a person, a lady who was sexually harassed as children, they will not go. They still have this untreated fear, insecurity, that the male doctor you find there or the male staff may see my genitals, and I'm not sure whether they can do what others did to me. Also depends whether the sexual harassment was so continuously done, or it was a one-off, or it was a group rape. So that one, the ladies tend not to go for such services, and that is one of the long-term effects, and it affects not only the lady but also the child in the womb. They will have several excuses not to go, but internally there they know their problem. There is another terminology here we'll bring in, is vaginismus. Vaginismus simply means it's called muscle spasms. The muscles of the genital area become so tight to the extent that during sexual intercourse, the man gets stuck in there so tightly, and it is extremely psychological. Whether it happens for a very short time or a long time, not all explanations that are given are related to sexual abuse of a girl. Sometimes there are other reasons, but for such kind of vaginismus, it is short. It may take 5 minutes, 3, some seconds, and it stops. But for this kind of vaginismus we are talking about, the muscle spasms makes it so tight that the man's penis gets trapped in there, and the two cannot separate until the couple is taken together in the hospital, and the separation is done from there with the muscle relaxants and other kind of medications there. We intend to think that this is witchcraft, but it is not witchcraft. Psychologically, a person who registered the bad experience of rape and the gravity of that rape keeps on fearing men, the flashbacks of the experience, and the dreams, the bad dreams, nightmare about it. They don't explain all this, but once they meet a man, especially the first time, they need to relax and think otherwise apart from what happened. But in case that experience runs through their mind during sexual intercourse, the fear, the insecurity, and all that punishing experience that they went through, the muscles become so tight that they cannot relax. The lady may not have the explanation, and the gentleman does not have the explanation, and there they are. Those are some of the long-term effects of child sexual abuse that we need to explore, and what we want to bring out to people out there is the thinking that child abuse sexually does not have any big effects. The effects are so much, and some of them just follow our ladies to the offices where they work, to the homes where they marry, and the rest of the community. You see the behavior and you can't understand it. Let us also talk about other issues that can bring about sexual abuse of a girl child, but this one also, the boy child can come in, and that is the parenting style. Parenting is something very, very technical. It's not about a man finding a woman and then they marry, they get children. When children come in, parents need to be prepared to do the right parenting, and that is a very, very big area of parenting. But parenting should be done by both mother and father. Father should have time to talk to their children, leave this kind of thing like we are making money, but the money is for who? The money is for these children. The children should enjoy the money when the family is happy. So the parenting sometimes goes beyond, and now I'm trying to relate it to sexual abuse of children. There are parents who think they are so stylish that since they are a couple, you can do anything. When children are watching, they kiss, deep kisses, deep hugs, while naked in their sitting rooms or in their bedrooms with children watching, and they think it's just okay. It is not okay. We have had cases of children playing what their parents do out there. When I was still a teacher, there was this child of 6 years who would role play father and mother in class, and the girl would get everybody kissed in the class. During break time, she would become a good teacher of sexuality, training the rest of the children how mommy kisses daddy, how they carry one another, how they do all sorts of things. She even went to the extent of explaining. One day she came with a condom, and she was explaining to the children how they sometimes use it. It was too much for us, and we were like, let us invite the parents and see what happens. Because when we asked the child, she was like, but mother and father do these things, and they told us it is okay, it is safe. Yes, it is safe for them, but for the children, it must have a limit. There is a limit what children should see and what they should not see. And sometimes we also expose our own children by telling them elders, some people to be respected, and we call them these days uncles. everybody has become an uncle. I don't know how it came about. And every woman has become an aunt all of a sudden. You go to the hospital, the nurses have become aunties. Say thank you to auntie, listen to auntie. Supermarket, say greet auntie in the market, greet auntie, all that kind of thing. All the people, the neighbors, the male neighbors, their uncles, and the male staff in the home, the gatekeepers, the flower maintainers, the compound cleaners, are all uncles. The house girls, the maids, and all these, the way we call them, house help, their aunties. Children get confused. They don't know who is the auntie, the right auntie, and who is the wrong auntie, and who is likely to do bad and who is not likely to. All these things we need to sit with children and explain to them. Aunties have boundaries, and even elders, you can say no to an elder depending on what they are telling you. At 3 years, 3 years, children may know a lot. If they know all these things at school, the sounds, the songs, the stories, why not sex education at their level? 3 years, 4 years, you can tell them, you see, that person we call uncle, or some uncles, or some aunties can sexually abuse you. If they call you and they touch you, or insert a finger into your vagina, or caress your buttocks and all that kind of thing, and they tell you not to say anything, because like we talked about it in the first video, the perpetrators take time preparing their victims. It is rarely a one-off. They prepare them with incentives, sweets. We have found out that sweets play a great role in preparing children to abuse them, and also bogoyas. Those are the yellow bananas. I think the perpetrators find them easy to get. So let the children know the boundaries of these people. If they are touching them indecently, let them come and tell you. Tell them that you come and tell us, tell the father, tell the mother, and any person you trust. And if they do tell you, act immediately. Don't waste time, act immediately, because these people are advancing to abuse our children. I have my personal experience. When my son was 3 years, I started preparing him. Around 2 to 3 months later, he asked me when I came back from work, that, "Mommy, is it okay to make love to a maid?" And he did not know the word maid, and that was the issue of uncle auntie issue. He asked, "Is it okay to make love to auntie?" And mentioned the name. I said, "What? What? Why? What are you talking about?" He told me that, you see, whenever you are not here, aunt tells me to come and make love to her. And He said no. He said we'll tell mommy, but now that's why I'm telling you. Is it good to make love to her? I immediately called my house help and asked what was going on. She was like, this boy here, the boy has been seeing the cartoons, and but when I looked straight into her eyes, I saw it. She was sweating, she was trembling, she was, and somewhere the words could not coordinate. She was like, I did it. I told her once, but also cartoons, but there was a lot of but. I immediately said, my dear, it was around 4. I told her, start preparing yourself. Tomorrow, pack up. You are getting back home. This is what happened. Act immediately. We also talk about infidelity of parents, and this is part of parenting also. You find that daddy, especially single fathers or single mothers, daddy brings in different ladies in the home, and they expose their love, their activities when children are watching, and off they go. Children watch what is happening, or mommy brings in different men. The children are watching what they do. They go naked, they're in towels, they are in shorts, the kisses, and the children start imagining and seeing, and they act what their parent does. And the most important is that what happens in this home will affect the other homes, especially at school. Children will share that kind of experience. The love stories, there are some people, women especially, who just go or come into the home or carry their children to another home, and they start discussing all about their partners and how they do their sexual activities, their sexual stories, what happens in the bedroom, and children are listening, all that kind of thing, and they are learning a lot. Please, let us be very careful about what happens. Our parenting styles, parenting skills should be updated, so that whatever we do, we are mindful of this child. Teachers too, because we have seen our children later, we send them to school, and there they become, they go in the hands of teachers, but they are male teachers who have abused these children. We have always seen such kind of things. Children, when you are giving them this kind of information in your parenting, tell them that also teachers, they should be careful. Teachers should not be with them in dark corners when they are alone. They should not send them for their property in their houses, and they should not be with them. We talk to them and be with them, expose them to obscenity. All that is very wrong. The children, in preparing them, we should be so technical that they will not start to fear a male teacher. But also schools, please, those females and males who help children in the school as counselors, like the senior woman teachers, senior man teachers, let them start doing their work, not just be given titles. Let them do their work to save a girl from being sexually harassed. Thank you very much. You can like the video, subscribe, go to my web page. It is amafamily.org, and see the rest there. Thank you very much, and bye bye.